land my point.
You know what?
Oh, Alfred, let me land this point. Listen, on a day-to-day basis in the seat as an ECGMD, you need to enter the place one day to see how when you walk into the office at about 7 a.m., by the next time you realize you have not even eaten, you've not drank water, but you are leaving the place at 9 p.m. You enter, the sun is up. By the time you are leaving, it's late. You would understand that, yes, the number of things that go through. Yes, this same letter was forwarded to the legal directorate. This letter that we wrote was forwarded to the legal directorate. So technically, I don't work in isolation. Okay. So if that's why I keep saying, if there was a response, by now, the director legal should have it.
So with everything that has been raised as a matter of concern in terms of whereabouts of containers and how they get out of the port and ECG not being able to even account for them, you believe that if you were contacted, maybe clarity would have been brought to bear, and so there was nothing wrong done?
I am not saying that. I said there are containers don't get missing. Containers can get misplaced.
Okay.
Let's all assist the minister and the forensic audit for us to identify the location of these containers.
Okay, the containers have been misplaced.
If we do it and we are short of, and whatever we need to do holistically to identify where these containers are, who took the containers out, because no matter what, a container number will be linked to someone. There's always that trail when it comes to containers. Whoever signs off on the way bills are always there. That is documentation that is easily verifiable. That is again documentation that is easily verifiable even with the shipping lines. So for me, I think the committee failed the minister, and let's look at it in this broad view. And so if that was done right for the minister, I believe the minister would have a better understanding of what is going on. But for the committee to come out with a report, name someone in it, not give the person the opportunity, I'm not going to address it in the public domain. No.
So you say the containers were misplaced.
In my candid opinion.
Good. These misplaced containers did not get misplaced over just a 3-week period or a 2-month period that this administration has been in office.
How would you know?
Based on the details of what, in terms of the auction period.
You see?
And I'm coming. In terms of the auction period of these containers, you would know the period that these containers were sold or auctioned by the GRA, because you wrote this letter in 2023.
So if you are going to be mischievous, the minister in January said 2005.
So I don't think that if you're talking about fairness, there's no reason to say we're being mischievous.
So let's be fair. No, I'm talking about fairness here.
Yes.
I am saying
why do you
there are inconsistencies in the situation. And the inconsistencies do not bring what? Clarity. Let's all assist. And I will continue to say it. Let's all assist to bring clarity and closure to this matter.
The misplaced containers, that's wrongdoing. It's not
by who?
Proper procedure.
Who misplaced it?
I think you should be answering those questions.
It was with the custody of the what? Ghana Customs and in the custody of Ghana ports.
But if they are over time you import containers with content and they are misplaced, and as an MD you don't get concerned about it, how do you expect me to also believe that
from what you are saying,
you are not part of the entire syndicate?
If that's the case, so be it. It will come out in the forensic audit. If that's the case, so be it. Let the records show that Dubik was part of the syndicate. If that is what we are looking for, let's look for it. What would be Dubik's aim to be part of a syndicate to take containers out? Do I live in a container house?
Well,
are my homes, if you have come to my home and it was built with containers, yes, you can say something like that and people will believe you. But the conversation at hand is this. And you see, we keep digressing on the issue. Containers have arrived for ECG. ECG didn't have money to clear the containers. The containers went into an unclaimed area. Yes, the containers were dead. Some of them were subjects of an investigation. They were there for a long period of time. As they were there for a long period of time, some of the containers cannot be found. How many terminals are there in the, what do you call it, in GPHA?
So,
have we gone to every single terminal to determine whether there's MPS? Don't forget.
Well,
So let's go through all of this. So if you go to GPHA alone, you are not also being fair to GPHA. Let me finish. So there are how many terminals? There's Atlas, there's other. Let's go through all of them. Don't say I went here and I counted and that was it. Let's go through all of them, or let's go into the system.
So because you classify this as misplacement and not missing, would you say containers found in fabrication companies and warehouses of Chinese were misplaced?
How were they? How would you call those containers missing? How did they leave?
No, I'm saying I'm using your own terminology.
No, yeah. So I'm responding to you. How did the container leave the port? No. If you answer that question, you would know, because we all live in Ghana. How did that container leave the port? The answer to all what we are looking for is how did those containers leave the port of the Republic of Ghana? If we get to the bottom of that, we will find that syndicate.
And so, Dubik Mahama, you are not aware of how these containers left the port as former MD? And you never ask questions?
Do I work at customs?
You never ask questions?
Do I work at GPHA?
No. So you never ask questions until now?
Ask your questions pertaining to the issues at hand. You are asking me how the containers left the port. As managing director, am I in charge of materials and transport? As managing director, is it part of my work? What do you call it? To be at the, listen,
But
if let's solve.